once I quit the drinking, it helped a lot because I was able to, even though it was difficult, I was able to actually be honest with myself and reflect on a lot of things that were, and you got to think, like I said, it was like of course, in my case, it was a little unfair of an example because within a month, all this stuff had happened, like after I quit, but I see it in my friends that have quit and have tried to turn things around, and it's like, it is the most beautiful thing in the world to see somebody like come to life again after being in one of those. You're able to like sort of like escape this shell of all those terrible things. And even if you are still in a bad position and you got 30 grand worth of credit card debt and you're working some shit job and your car doesn't start half the time, and like, your girlfriend left you for some other dude, and like, don't matter what it is, like if at least that little glimmer of hope, that like that faith that there is a chance it's something greater, like that'll push people. You can push a mountain aside with that, like you can do anything with that. And I think it's also good. I think it is important to have a good support structure. Like when you get to that point, I don't think anybody should have to face that stuff by themselves. And there's plenty of other people out there that are in the same position. And I think that's why it's so important for us to try to get reconnected on a personal level and not just through digital communication, because like all we see of each other online is the good stuff.
Yeah.
Very rarely are people posting on Facebook talking about, how could you even, it's like all you see is the best of people, but I don't think we realize that we're all going through a lot of the same things anyway, the low points and stuff.
Guess what happens when you either lose your job or can't quite figure out a good job and you're not making that much money, or you're basically broke, and you have a girlfriend that's not happy about you being broke? She's going to leave you. Or if it's a wife that could face divorce, and like the breakups and divorce can break a lot of people even when they're doing well.
Yeah.
And now when they're not doing well, that's a rough one. And that basically your support system for a lot of people is the relationship, is the wife and and so like that's taking the support system from underneath you. And
I've had good friends of mine I've seen get in destructive relationships, and like they'll start to date a girl, and then like within a year they're just like a shell of what they were. Because sometimes I do think you have to be careful with like your self-validation and the way you perceive yourself, and making sure that it's you giving yourself that and not somebody else. Because I do think too, it's like, yeah, like how are you supposed to, if you can't even keep a woman around to love you right, like how are you supposed to love yourself? It's easy to think about that. Like I've seen a lot of men get wrecked in bad relationships and stuff too. It's tough,
Yeah, ultimately I think, maybe dark to say, but there is a base layer at which we're alone in this world. Like you need to be strong by yourself first and foremost, because sometimes there'll be times in life where everybody leaves you.
Yeah.
The wife leaves you, the job leaves you, and for some people, even people you thought are friends will backstab you. And even then you have to have the strength to find your footing again. Like that ultimately comes from you, right?
I mean, man, of course, like I said, in all the experiences I've been through, I'd be a fool to deny it, but like I do think there is God there that's always there but you certainly can self-isolate yourself too, even from that.
If you can find faith in yourself, I've seen it do wonderful things for human beings. You and God, faith in something bigger than you. Yeah, that can give strength to a lot of people. But allowing yourself to derive strength solely from other people can be a dangerous thing.
Mm-hmm.
Because people are complicated and they can betray, they can, just like they can fill your life with love, they can also destroy you. That's also the beautiful thing about life.
Yeah, it is.
You make yourself vulnerable to other people, you form deep relationships. That means they can also destroy you. So that's life. Yeah. That's what makes this whole thing. And then you write really great heartbreak songs.
Yeah.
People, there's something valuable about people fucking you over and hardship and all that kind of stuff.
Even the best of us have terrible parts of us. Like we are all flawed inherently because we're human. And so there'll never be there'll never be another Garden of Eden on earth, like figuratively, where we all just live harmoniously and everything's great and happy and wonderful. But it's those basic principles that you talk about, like love and those relationships and those connections that we have that make it all. Because think about it, I mean, like in a lot of cases, it's like that's the position you get in when you get so depressed and you get so low. It's like, what's the point in even doing all this? Like it is just for anyone, it's just so crazy, overly complicated and exhausting to live, isn't it? Like even in this modern society where we have all these wonderful little conveniences and we can just have food delivered right to our door if we want and all this kind of crap. It's like people are still like more depressed now than they've ever been. And like all the anxiety and all the mental health stuff is just probably just as prevalent as it's ever been. It's people talk about money not making you happy. And, it's like it's easy when you're broke to think, man, if I had some money, and of course, financial freedom is what you're really looking for, not like an abundance of wealth, but the things that we talk about that make life worth living aren't things that you can buy. They are things that you obtain through relationships and love and life. And so it is just an infinitely complex and crazy thing to think about, but it's like, that human component of us is what's so important to our long-term existence, like our ability to have connection with each other, and the joy we find in that, the purpose we find in that it's not anything that's replaceable with anything,
Yeah, I've seen that with just seeing the effects of war on the people. And basically war strips away everything. You lose your home, you lose everything. And you get to see what's actually really important. And that's the other people in your life, friends, family. And it's almost cliche to say, but it's the people you love in your life that make up the essence of what makes life worth living. It's not the homes, the material possessions, even the job and whatever else. It's the humans. So yeah, it's important to remember. A lot of us, especially in the United States under a capitalist system, are chasing money.
Yeah.
It's important, like, to remember what you're doing it all for.